Picture a peaceful African night in 1986. The air is still, the stars are out, and the small villages surrounding a tranquil volcanic lake are fast asleep. There is no sound, no explosion, no warning, just absolute terrifying silence. But as the sun rises, the horrific reality is revealed. Over 1,700 people and 3,500 livestock are lying dead in the streets, in their beds, exactly where they stood just hours before. There is no blood, no signs of struggle, and all the buildings are perfectly intact. It's as if they just stopped. This is the true story of Lake Nyos, the most terrifying and mysterious natural disaster you have never heard of. It wasn't an army or a plague. The invisible assassin was the water itself. Welcome to the Anime at Lastor, and today we are diving into the heart of a geological horror story. Lake Nyos is not just any lake, it's a killer trapped in a volcanic crater in Cameroon, Africa. For thousands of years, ancient magma chambers deep beneath the lakebed have been slowly, relentlessly leaking carbon dioxide gas into the bottom of the water. Now, typically, in a normal lake, this gas would simply bubble up to the surface and escape safely into the atmosphere. But Lake Nyos is unique and deadly. Its waters are so perfectly still and so incredibly deep that the CO2 was trapped, creating a colossal pressurized bomb waiting for a single trigger. The pressure was so massive that the bottom of the lake held a staggering 1.5 million tons of dissolved carbon dioxide. That's roughly 5 times the weight of the Empire State Building, compressed into a single synthetic monster waiting to be unleashed. What happened on the night of August 21, 1986, is still a topic of intense scientific debate, but the most likely theory is terrifying. A small external event, perhaps a minor landslide from the crater wall, a small seismic shake or even a violent storm, created a disruption in the water's perfect layers. The layers flipped. The heavy CO2-saturated water from the bottom was suddenly forced up to the surface. As the pressure dropped, the result was a geological explosion of invisible gas. A silent, massive wave of water, nearly 100 meters high, violently churned the lake. But that was just the beginning. Above the water, a colossal, invisible cloud of pure carbon dioxide, stretching 5 kilometers wide and hundreds of meters high, emerged. Being heavier than air, this deadly, translucent wave began to cascade down the valley, moving at over 70 kilometers per hour. This was a silent ocean of suffocation. As it swept through the sleeping villages, it displaced all the oxygen in a single breath. The people did not wake up screaming. They did not gasp for air. They simply slipped from sleep into death, as if someone had gently flipped a switch. The CO2 was so concentrated that even animals, insects, and vegetation were affected. In one village, the only survivors were those who had lit fires or had been on higher ground, watching the terrifying silent shadow pass beneath them. The immediate cover-up by the local government, which first suspected a secret chemical weapons test, only added to the mystery. But the truth was far more terrifying. The Earth itself was the attacker. To prevent this nightmare from ever repeating, scientists from around the world mobilized. Today you will see a massive 20-meter-high plastic pipe rising from the center of Lake Nyos, constantly releasing a violent plume of gas. This isn't just for show. This is a permanent life support system. A degassing pipe constantly releasing the CO2 from the bottom to prevent the pressurized bomb from ever exploding again. Lake Nyos remains one of the world's most forbidden places, a haunting reminder of the sheer, unpredictable power hidden in the geological formations beneath our feet. The Earth is alive and it is a silent killer. The mainstream media won't show you this unvarnished truth. Subscribe to our Anime at Lastor, share this silent warning before it is forgotten, and tell us in the comments below. Do you believe we have truly mastered the forces of nature? Wake up, before you reach the absolute point of no return.